Welcome to the Missouri Woods and Water Podcast. I'm your host, Nate Thomas, doing a quick intro for a Missouri Woods and Water Classic episode for you all this week. We couldn't get one in, just a busy week with track and, spring stuff gets us all busy. Andy's in the middle of trying to get stuff in the ground. Micah's got stuff going on with the kids, and then I'm chasing kids around too. So didn't get one in this week. Some stuff fell through, but we got an awesome classic episode. We actually go all the way back to episode 123, September 13th, 2022, when we recorded on a mountain around a campfire in Colorado, talking about our elk trip that had just ended that day. So that day was the last day of our trip, and we get into it. So just a quick disclaimer, it is, the guys are indulging in some spirits, as we'll say, and there's a little bit of cussing, so you might want to, cover the kids' ears or make sure that you're around when you're watching, but it's one of my favorite episodes. It's actually kind of why we started our podcast originally was, we sit around campfires, we sit around talking to each other all the time, and started hitting the record button. So this is kind of like a view into how we are, around each other. So this is the first and only time we've recorded around a campfire. I was nervous the entire damn time because I thought my cords were all going to burn up and, that sort of stuff. But everything made it back in one piece. So I'll give the guys that. We made it. So I want to do a quick intro like I just did and do the sponsors. So let's start with Athlon Optics. Great optics. I'm going to be probably using my 6 Creedmoor here in a few weeks as we go out summer coyote hunting. And it is a Athlon Midas TAC on that one. And it's a great scope. It's probably my favorite reticle that Athlon actually makes. So check them out on X. Use our code MWW20 for 20% off. Get on the website to get that savings. Now is a great time to do it before summer gets too busy. Black Ovis, use our code MWW10 for 10% off. Get on there. Build those custom arrows with their custom arrow ID shop. Very simple to use. Very simple. And all kinds of awesome Black Ovis gear as well. I have been wearing my Realm short sleeve t-shirts, and they're great. They're so lightweight, polyester material, I guess, really breathable. And I'm a hot natured dude, so this time of year I get sweaty, and that stuff comes in clutch. And then use a Camofire sister company. Get on the app and check out their daily deals. Huntworth gear. Use our code MWW15 for 15% off. I will be wearing all my Huntworth gear treated with permethrin this Friday as me and Micah go out, and we both took the day off work this coming up Friday, and we're going to go out and work on our spots, hang some stands, take some stands down, trim some shooting lanes, stuff like that. And I'll be wearing my Huntworth gear because I'll have it treated with permethrin to keep the ticks off us. Alps Outdoors, use our code 2025, that's 2025, Woods Water, 30% off, great savings, great company. Reveal Cameras by Tacticam. Ours will be going out here in the next few months. Some new stuff coming out with them, so check that out or be on the lookout for that. And then finally, Habitat Works. Give our buddy Dustin Williams a call, 816-752-7390. Now is a great time to get some mapping and planning done by him, which is, he's good at a lot of stuff, but that mapping and planning is, he gives you legit binders of homework. It's awesome. So, and I think I'm going to hold off on an announcement just until we get everything finalized, but we are excited about a potential new sponsor that is coming down the pipes. But I'm going to wait just a little bit. So, yeah, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Missouri Woods and Water. Find it, subscribe, like, hit that alert button, that bell. Help us out a lot. We're trying to grow that YouTube. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple and Spotify. Tell your friends about us. Like I said, this show is September 2022, so you're talking 2.5 years ago, and we've had just as much fun ever since. This is episode 123. We're now on 262, so you're talking about 140 some episodes ago, and it was a great time, and it's probably one of my favorite shows just because of the uniqueness of it. So I just wanted to kind of give y'all a chance to listen to that time. We hit record at 9,500 feet on a mountain around a campfire in Colorado. So enjoy it. This is the Missouri Woods and Water Podcast.
Welcome to the Missouri Woods and Water Podcast with your host, Micah, Nate, and Andy.
Campfire edition.
Campfire edition. We've got returning guest host, Patrick and Brandon.
We are literally sitting around a fire right now.
On our annual...
On a mountain.
Yep.
At the base of our mountain
On the last night of our trip.
Yep.
elk hunting trip.
And we're going to do our
bow hiking trip.
Our bow hiking.
Ruined it.
We're going to do our absolute best not to...
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you are expecting to learn how to hunt elk, to find the secrets...
Turn this shit off right now.
Change the channel.
If you want to hear some funny stories, keep listening, because it was still an adventure.
We had a good time, dude. We came close a lot of times.
Yeah.
We're going to do our best not to turn this into a giant shit show, but
We're there.
It is the last night of our trip. Brandon is tired as shit. There have been some alcoholic beverages consumed.
We had Rittenhouse whiskey.
I'm drunk as fuck.
Micah is there.
Micah is inebriated. So I'm going to tell him right now, calibrate.
I'm going to try to keep my shit together. I'm going to do the best I can. We'll see what happens.
I think we just need to start this.
All right. Yeah, let's just start on the trip. Like you just said, Andy.
So, to start off...
Oh, let's also recap here. There's 3 people missing from this show right now.
Yes. Albert, Russell, and Roger are all sleeping.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I don't think they wanted to deal with our bullshit.
Well, that's... I don't disagree with them. I love you. I'm just kidding.
F you, dude.
So there's the third F.
I said F.
We made it here, so that was a plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had to stop a couple times. Start off with...
It wasn't tires.
No, it wasn't tires. We took my dad's
duck.
truck, which is an 05 Duramax, and mine, which is a 15. Dad's had a check engine light come on and kind of lost some power.
In Kansas again.
Yeah, we're in the middle of Kansas, middle of the night, and so basically
it was the turbo, pretty much.
Basically, they did what they could. We kept on going.
Yeah.
We stopped at the town here in Colorado before we come up the mountain at
O'Reilly's.
Shout out to O'Reilly's. Very helpful people.
Yeah.
They plugged in their reader, and it was a turbo sensor.
Yeah.
Yeah, same code I had a few years ago.
Yeah, we cleared it.
Cleared the sensor. Seems like it had a little more power after that.
Yeah.
He's going to have to take it to the shop when he gets home.
I mean,
But get it checked out, see what's going on.
So this is the third year in a row we've had
Fourth,
vehicle
third
issues.
or fourth. I don't even know.
And not the same truck every time.
No.
Third year in a row.
I said that, Patrick.
what did we
Not
have
fourth.
What did we have 2 years ago?
2 years,
2 years
ago
was my
the-
truck overheating.
His truck overheating.
Well, that was in traffic.
Last year was tires,
Still problems.
Yeah.
but it wasn't on the truck. It was on the camper.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah,
know if you
yeah,
really
yeah.
count that.
I said vehicle.
Then the year before that was...
vehicular.
So
problems.
actually 2 years ago was my truck and your truck, because my truck had the DEF
2
issue.
different trips.
It's been great.
It's been terrific. But we got here. We got here.
We were coming down the pass, and
We're gonna bring it up.
Who was in that truck?
Can I pet that dog?
we had the first
was in that
official
truck?
kill of the trip.
It was me.
Brandon,
Roger,
tell the
Russell.
story.
Well, you see what happened was...
What had happened
We're
was...
coming down this mountain pass, and Roger goes, "Oh, dog, don't do it. Don't do it." As it's coming from the far right-hand side, head left.
So, mind you, we're not just on a mountain pass. We're on Interstate I-70 at the Eisenhower Pass. We're about to go into the Eisenhower Tunnel.
Right.
Continue.
So, whatever reason, the dog's making its way across the interstate, and I don't know, I guess those people got out of their car And
Yeah, there
as
was
soon
some
as
dude
that
on the-
dog stepped onto the shoulder, they called it or something, and the dog came right back in front of us, and we
Well,
just
it made it all the way across.
all the way across the
All
interstate.
lanes of
2
traffic.
lanes of I-70.
Yep.
There's a barrier,
Yep.
right? And it starts coming back. So I was in the second truck. There was a semi to the right. There's 2 cars between your all's truck and our truck.
Uh-huh.
All of a sudden, we just see a
Puff of fur.
God bless this dog. I'm sure it's a great dog.
I feel
I
bad,
feel bad for the people.
but you know what? Don't let your fucking dogs out in the middle of the highway.
You're on Eisenhower Pass, dude. Like,
Yeah, I couldn't figure out what was going on.
I know dogs got to pee and stuff, but like, you might want to plan a little better. Not let them out right next to the interstate.
Yeah,
thought
it was
it was a bad deal.
I would like to know what actually, like, what happened for that dog
Like
to be out.
we thought,
Legit, I radioed up. Is like, did a dog just jump out of a vehicle? Like, what happened?
We had no fucking idea. It was,
So
I really hope that
it took out a bumper of the truck, fog light.
sprayed some
and
blood all over the
There's a
trailer.
little remnants on some trailer.
Yeah.
So
Feel
all right.
bad. We feel bad about it.
Sorry
Yeah.
for the family.
R.I.P. Husky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
It is
Beautiful
but
dog.
Here, I will say this:
Beautiful dog.
Was a beautiful
there is
dog.
literally nothing.
There's nothing. No,
Could have
honestly,
been
if you would have swerved,
Another
you would have
vehicle
caused a
was gonna
bigger
hit it.
accident because the truck and car behind it. Like I barely. I squealed all. How many tires do I have? 4,
6,
2, 4, 6,
Eight.
8. All 8 tires of the camper and truck, and then swerved to the left to miss the car in front of us and the dog.
Yeah,
It was a bad deal. A bad deal.
Bad
all
deal.
around.
But we made it.
We did.
we
made it.
did make it.
There's some zip ties involved,
There is some zip ties involved.
but we made it.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
We didn't get our preferred camping spot.
I like this spot though.
This is a pretty
I
good
really
spot.
hope the crackle of the fire comes through.
I know.
These mics.
So, but the front spot, you have a beautiful view. You can see across like the big park and like across the road and stuff. The back one is very secluded. You got a view of the park across. We're like right in the middle, so I feel bad a little bit for Albert. He didn't have like
The
that
best
great a view,
Yeah.
but it's secluded. Nobody's messing with you.
Got a
We have
fire
a beautiful
pit.
fire. I don't know. I like it.
Some tents and stuff.
it's not bad. It's not a bad spot.
No.
I'll take
And
it.
then we started hunting. And day
see,
one.
open day.
Can I just get my shit
Let's
out of
go.
the way?
Let's go recap opening day.
Yeah.
Because this is my story.
Have at it.
I saw a cow opening day at 40 yards. I drew on her.
Was she
And
running?
She was trotting.
Yeah.
From somebody
was.
else.
She-
So all right, let's back
Maybe
up a little.
you guys
Back
even
up a
saw
little
it.
bit.
Yeah.
This is Memorial Day weekend.
Labor
Day
Day.
weekend.
Yeah,
Labor Day.
Labor Day. Holidays mixed up.
Spirits.
There's a ton of people here.
Yeah.
Because we are in a unit that allows ATVs.
Yep.
So there's a lot of recreational riders plus opening weekend of elk season.
Hunters.
There's a lot of hunters, a lot of local hunters here in Colorado. Trailhead was packed. There's people camping on the trail. People camping, unfortunately, at the top of the mountain we like to hunt, which
Does not help.
there's sense going everywhere. It doesn't help. We've seen it. We've been out here when people haven't. We see more elk. People are up there. You don't see as many elk. I mean, it's just it's how it is.
Right.
Like
So-
I'm gonna complain a little bit
I will complain.
because
Don't do it.
I'm not pissed at anybody for doing what they do, right?
I mean,
but
It's public land.
It's your deal.
Like our buddy,
You can do
our
whatever
buddy
you want
Will
to do.
Judson.
Will did it right. in my
He
opinion.
does it right. He wants to go drop camp, and he even has moved around before, but he's not at the top of the mountain where in the morning if you're hunting that mountain all your scents just dropping.
It's like they're not paying attention to thermal. Because like Will
Don't
went
throw
up.
beer at him. Okay.
Will oh fuck.
Shit. There's bears
Casualty.
flying.
Will went up the mountain, but then he dropped down below where like he was going to hunt that night.
Yeah.
Camped. So when he hunts from the bottom up, where your
Right.
thermals are coming down. I mean, so it's appropriate.
And what
But we got people camping at the top. Your thermals and wind are blowing
up
down.
and down the mountain.
I mean, your sense just.
And what I don't get, and like I said,
I'm not
you
saying
know,
we do everything perfect. We're
teach
not.
teach his own. I'm not.
Obviously, we don't have anything dead in the camp.
We
so
didn't kill shit.
we're messing something
Teach
up.
his own. But what I don't get is there are four-wheeler trails all throughout this unit.
Yep.
I can get on a four-wheeler and be to where those guys are, quarter mile away from them.
Oh yeah.
Like this isn't 7 miles deep wilderness that would make a lot of sense.
If you were hunting that mountain the night before and had to camp on it, and you were keeping moving, like I understand that, but they're establishing a base camp at the top of a mountain they're hunting.
Yeah, that's what I never quite understood. And like I said, they can do what they want to do.
It is what it is.
Definitely
We're public
made things
land.
harder
Everybody
for us.
has their own. Yes.
OTC unit, man. It's just like this is the shit you're gonna see.
OTC and 4-wheeler unit, so I think that
Right.
kind of doubles it up.
Right.
But yeah, so day one, I'll just get my freaking elk stories out of the way because this is it for me. Me and Micah were together. Russell and Brandon were just east of us on the same mountain. Y'all think you probably saw the same cow or calf.
Yep.
And we were just getting set up. Like we had picked a spot.
We're like, hey, let's hang out here for a little bit.
You hadn't even made it to where you were going to go. I had unhooked my belt strap, laid my bow down, getting ready to unhook my shoulder straps to take my pack off, and I hear something running. And I'm like, that sounds large. So I grab my bow, look up, and there she is. I'd already knocked an arrow because every time we stop somewhere, we knock an arrow.
Which is smart.
Which is a good idea. I take a step back, draw my bow. She's about 40 yards, but she's not going to give me a shot, and I didn't let one fly.
So,
and that.
Can I preface what you're talking about? Like a lot of people don't understand. You can watch. I mean, I don't know how many elk hunting shows on TV. We are hunting dark timber. When I say dark timber, I mean like cedars as thick as you can get them.
I think they're called pines.
Pines,
Yeah, pine
whatever.
trees.
Pines. It is what it is.
40-yard shot's a long shot.
40 yards, like that's a long way to see and get like clear shooting lanes here. Like it's
that's
just
the
difficult.
big thing, clear shooting lane.
And like for us, our fellow Missouri people, imagine walking through thick timber and trying to bow hunt a whitetail deer.
Right. It's tough.
Dude, it's hard.
It's fucking hard.
We're going to get that E on this show.
Yeah.
So that was that. Like that was
Yeah, I
literally,
mean, that
for
was
me.
pretty much, for the most of us, Russ, or
Opening
Andy.
day, we didn't see anything.
Andy, Pat, and Roger, they didn't see crap.
They did.
And we went to our honey hole, which is normally, actually, this is only the second time I think someone's been there and not seen anything.
Second time opening day
Opening day, yeah.
that we've been there and not seen
Yeah.
an elk.
Usually,
in 9 years.
usually you guys,
It is 7 for 9.
Yeah, always have something come in.
And this is like, I don't know what we're going to name this show. Probably Elk Trip Recap, like, we suck or something. But for me, that was literally the only elk I've seen this entire trip.
That sucks.
So,
that's a
yeah,
lot.
like
And
for a guy like me.
And you hunted hard. It's not like
Yeah,
you like
I took
didn't
today off.
hunt
Today's
hard.
the only day I didn't hunt. And usually what I do, we're getting off it, but like I usually take like third or fourth day morning off
We all
to let my
normally do.
knee
Yeah.
chill, because I don't know if the listeners know, but I have a crap knee. So like I'll let it hang, and usually I do a better job of like handling my knee. I usually take ibuprofen every morning, roll it out. I didn't do any of that stuff this year. I did it yesterday.
Don't you
And,
normally get a cortisone shot?
I normally go get a cortisone shot about 2 weeks before we come. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I was not ready. And anyway, so I'm like, I usually take that third or fourth day off. I didn't do that. Today was the last day, and I didn't go. So anyway, I saw one elk. There's some other stuff I saw, but one damn elk. This is the
And
second year in a row
we'll
I've
get
seen
into
one.
that.
So can we jump? Like I feel like I don't want to like keep the listeners waiting that long to hear the best part. I feel like of this entire story. Can Brandon go now?
No.
What day was that?
We got to talk about day two.
Day two. Okay. We'll go
Day two was
first.
good. Day two,
Day two was pretty solid for us.
It was.
Y'all saw stuff, Brandon, though, day one. You saw that?
Yeah, we
You
saw
saw like 5 different.
The one that we think you saw, and then we saw a few calves. I think that's it. Day one.
and you guys, to be fair,
to be fair.
I was going to
to be
say,
fair.
to be fair, a lot.
you and Russell, you guys, y'all were waiting for a bull first, second day, pretty much, right?
I wasn't. I was just gonna shoot anything.
Okay,
But-
but Russell was kind of, and he's fucking sleeping right now. But anyways, Russell, he was like, I'm not going to shoot a cow for a second day. Pretty sure. Anyways, right. But anyway, so
Did y'all have a shot at one? Or would you?
I think
I
he did.
didn't.
first
he did.
Okay.
first
He said
day
he
Russell?
did,
I mean, and I'm putting words in his mouth, but I'm pretty sure Russell could have shot a cow if he wanted to.
I'm pretty sure he said he passed on one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's several of us that were going to pass on a cow if they like.
The first
I know,
day.
Pat, you were going to pass if
first
you
day.
saw one first
First day.
that always happens. We always say, "Hey, we're going to pass," and by the second day, it's like, "I'm shooting anything because this is hard."
Yeah,
That did happen.
we'll get into that. We'll get into that here in a little bit.
Also, shout out to Rittenhouse Whiskey for
The fuel of the show.
the fuel of the show and Bush Light and Bush Latte.
Sponsorship.
How's that Rittenhouse, Micah? You liking that?
I'm pretty fucked up. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie.
It's pretty solid.
Dude, it was good.
It's good.
It was really good.
It was solid.
100 proof.
Solid rye whiskey.
Rye whiskey.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Made in Colorado, right?
We are.
I have no
17
idea.
17 minutes into the
Was
show.
that made in Colorado?
I don't think
I have
it was.
no idea.
I
So
don't think it
today, Nate, like you said, didn't hunt on the last day. We sent him to town to get more booze.
Booze run.
and 100% honesty, I don't drink.
Yeah, Nathan.
So I go into this liquor store and I got your all's Bush Light, and then they're like, "All right, we want you to get us whiskey, not Jim Beam, and we want it to be local." And I'm like, "All right."
Try something different, you know?
So I go to this liquor store, and the lady was super nice, and she's like, "Well, what do they want? Do they want something smooth?" And I'm like, "I have no freaking clue."
Probably
Well,
thought
what
you were
do you
buying for
like?
minors.
I have no freaking clue.
I
They
only
said-
have $60 to buy booze.
they said no Jim Beam. That's all. And so she's like, "Well, here's a local one made in blah blah town, right down the road." And I'm like, "Okay, how much is?" And she's like, "It's $75." I'm like, "Listen, I got $60."
You're over budget, lady.
So then she found this Rittenhouse. She's like, "This is my husband's favorite," and I don't remember how much it was, like $30, $27, and it's gone now.
I killed the bottle, so I mean we're good.
We're good.
I mean, we're only 18 minutes in the show, and I think you've dropped like 17 f-bombs. So
Did I?
hey, but
It's
just look
only
at me. Look at me.
3.
Calibrate.
Calibrate.
So Brandon, you guys day 1 seen 5, right?
Yep.
Ish, 5ish.
Yeah.
So
I mean that's a good day, man.
Right, it was good.
I mean, if you think about it, like what we hunt, that's a good day.
So I think my absolute most, and I think I have, I won't say the record, but like my most is like 22 elk in 1 year is the most I've ever seen.
Was that last year?
I think so.
Last year we saw a lot.
Last year we saw what?
I also only saw one last year.
Yeah, last year I
So
want to say
I'm starting to
I wanna say
question
I
like
seen
my
22.
ability to elk hunt at all.
So anyway, so 5 is like a great start.
I mean that's
right?
a good day.
Yeah, we
for,
had a good day.
for what we do. I mean, and we said it earlier. We are hunting
It's not like we're glassing.
anybody and
Like
their brother. If they come up with the money, they can go buy the tag and they can come hunt where we hunt.
And they can bring the 4-wheeler.
And they can bring their 4-wheeler and whoever else they want to bring. You know, I mean, that's-
Honestly, and we talked to another hunter, and we've said this ourselves this year, more than ever, I felt like this year we were deer hunting elk instead of elk hunting elk, if that makes any sense. Like, I think a lot of people don't picture elk hunting as sitting in one spot for 6 hours waiting
Where
for something
we're
to
at,
walk
they're
by.
so pressured. They're not bugling.
They're not
Like
talking.
when you want to say elk hunting, I picture like, you know, this bull screaming on
Right.
like a
you think about what you watch on TV.
Right.
You got some guide or some whoever in the background bugling, bringing him in. You got the hunter up front,
Yep.
you know, making the deal. That's not how we hunt. I mean,
It's you hear
we
stick
would
pop.
like- we would
oh,
like
hey,
to
what
hunt
was
that
that?
way.
we would love for that to happen, but that's just not.
Because
that happens maybe once every couple years for us here.
Right.
I mean, you do get into some, you know, bugling and some calling, but is it not like, Pat, is it not dejecting sometimes, like knowing that you're in this little speck of a huge freaking mountain and
You
just
look-
going, I
you-
hope an elk.
He looked up how many acres.
Yeah, what was it, like 40,000 acres?
No.
Was it more than that?
The
900.
the forest we're hunting is 900 plus.
I thought it was like 928
Yeah.
or something.
Thousand
And remember,
acres.
like,
Thousand.
we don't get to pattern these animals. We're coming out the day before season. We have no idea what's out here. We have I mean,
And there's some locals that have game cameras hung, and they have a little bit of advantage.
sure, and that's cool. I
I
would
mean,
do it
and
too.
one of them, I mean, we
Oh, we meet some
only
cool
because we
people
heard
here.
the story.
We meet some
I
cool
mean, he
people.
killed a 5x5 open in the morning.
At like 6:45.
Yeah, right.
And
So
that's awesome.
good for him,
So
Day 2.
day 2.
fucker.
Obviously, we know Nathan didn't see anything because
Yeah.
he only seen the one.
No, I didn't.
But day 2,
Day 2, me, Micah, and Pat, we went to a different spot, and it is a climb. Like, it takes us probably an hour and a half of climbing to get where we can
No,
start.
45 minutes.
it's about 45 minutes.
It sucks.
It's
though.
called exaggeration, guys.
It sucks.
It
though.
takes
You're
us
about done with your
45
Rittenhouse.
minutes. I'm getting close to my Rittenhouse. It takes us 45 minutes to climb
How's
to
that
where
beer
we can
coming,
start hunting.
It's a motherfucker.
You need another
I
one?
mean, it really is. It's a straight up son of a bitch.
God.
You know what?
You're gonna hate your life.
I will be. I vouch for him on this one. That's worth that. Yeah.
It sucks.
It sucks,
sucks.
dude. It's a sucky climb. But once you get up there, it's easy peasy.
Yes. Yeah. Once you get up there, it's flat. Like it's. You have to climb to get to the ridge.
It's not flat, but
Okay,
it's,
but
it's-
flat-ish
it's
for
flat.
Colorado.
flat for Colorado. Yeah.
So we get up there and we set up, and it's like we knew what we were doing, which is not the truth.
Yeah.
But we set up when we do, like, you guys did a couple cow calls. Pat, you tell a story.
Well,
You haven't talked yet.
Mike and I cow called back and forth to each other like cows talking.
Yeah.
And then Andy.
Andy had a little bit of
Andy chimes
bugle.
in with a nice deep chuckle, and then
I can't wait till you tell this story about the chuckle later.
Oh,
Oh,
God. That's a couple days later.
Hey, your mic cover's falling off, Pat.
oh, son
Just
of a-
push it back on there. I've got to swallow it.
and then I think we sat there for a little while. We heard
Dude,
some stick popping
no,
around.
I mean,
it was
to
a
be
couple minutes.
To be fair.
To be fair, one more time. I'm hitting the stop button.
I mean, it had to have been within 10 minutes, right?
Well, I think
it was quick.
It was very quick.
So-
we did a second sequence before. anything
We did a
shut up.
second sequence. You're
Okay.
right. You're
Yeah.
right. So you guys cow
'Cause you
called a couple more
bugled the
times, and I
seconds.
actually let a true bugle out. 'Cause
Yeah.
The first time I just like chuckled a couple
Yeah.
times.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
second
yeah.
time I let like a very short bugle out.
Yeah.
And we sat there for probably maybe a couple more minutes, and I hear a stick pop.
And then there's tapping on the log.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tapping on the log.
Like, to paint a picture, Andy,
We're in a triangle.
we're in a triangle. Andy is directly to my left. Pat is directly behind, I don't know, 90 degrees to my left. I don't know how
No,
you
I
What
would
kind of
fucking-
triangle is this?
It's an acute one.
Yeah. But
It's not a
anyway,
triangle.
so Andy's directly to my left. If I fucking put my hand out to my left, he's right there.
I'm right for sure.
And all of a sudden, I just see his hand just tapping on the fucking log he's sitting on. He's just tap, 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 tap.
Dude, I couldn't move.
I'm like, okay, something's happening. And then I see legs. All right, so I see cow legs, or I don't know what it was. I see legs.
I already knew. And
Yeah,
Mike was
you did.
pissed.
You did.
Dude, so my perspective, I hear a pop, and I'm looking around. I hear a pop, and I see a head start coming over like this little like hill, a little hump, and here comes this freaking elk, and he is walking right at me. Like, when I say at me, I mean at me, at like 40 yards and closing quick.
Yeah.
I reach for my bow, and I realize, one, I did not knock an arrow when I set my bow down, which I
Same.
normally do. Two, I had a hoodie on, like my Huntworth. I don't know what it's called, but it's a badass hoodie.
Hoodie.
Huntworth.
It has the
The face mask.
Screen.
the face mask
Yeah.
built in. I had that hoodie on, so I had taken it off. When I did that, I took my release off, and I hung it like this.
You didn't have a release?
Dude,
Party
no.
foul.
I didn't realize that.
I didn't either.
I didn't either.
So I put my release on like this little like stick, the broken branch. I thought I had put it back on, but I didn't. So I reached for my bow, and I realized I started like just try to get it, and this elk is walking to me. I'm like, I can't move. Then I look down. I'm like, that's my release. I look at my wrist. I'm like, yep, I forgot to put it back on. So I just like quit. I just stopped trying to get my bow because I knew I was screwed.
In hindsight, I am directly behind you pretty much. So all I see is you tapping
Yeah.
on the log.
So before I reached for my bow, I started tapping because
something's coming. So I'd knock an arrow real quick. And, I mean, if you guys ever listen to any of the other ones.
Last year's elk podcast.
Yeah. Fucking, sure enough,
Here comes.
it's
I'm
a
going to
damn
be-
spike.
I'm going to be busier in hell with this.
It's fine.
You'll be fine, dude. Sure enough, spike. You could have slapped it on the nose pretty much.
So
He came.
It came right at me,
5 yards.
probably 5 yards, and was like facing me.
And guess what? You got a video of it.
I do.
There's
He's
two.
got a video.
I got
I got a
a video.
video. because once I saw him, he came straight towards Andy. Then he took his Andy's right.
It could have went to its right, and it would have literally walked over me.
Yeah.
It could have went to its left, and it walks around the end of the tree. Right, what? Okay.
Actually, shit their pants.
Anyway, it could walk around the tree I was sitting on, the downfall that I was sitting on. So it chose to walk around the downfall instead of, if it chose to walk over the downfall, it would have walked over top of me.
Literally.
Bopped on the nose.
So it walks, I could have it walked right beside me, and Micah is sitting right there, so it probably walks like 8 yards from Micah.
I was so pissed. I was so pissed. Last year.
Yeah, I saw it at 30 yards.
Dude,
I grabbed an arrow, and I'm like, nope.
It was 7 yards. 7 yards from me.
Dude.
I mean, right. And I'll post the video or whatever.
Think about this. What's the percentage of elk that are spikes?
Apparently pretty high.
Apparently pretty high. But the odds of any elk that could have walked by us, it had to be a spike.
And if you guys ever listen to the older episodes, I'll shoot a freaking calf. Okay,
we want meat.
I want meat. I want a cow. I want a calf. I want a bull. All right,
we want it done.
Yeah, spike. That's the only thing out of limits.
Dude, this campfire smoke is about to put me
smoking
out.
you. Is that killing you?
My eyes are hurting. Go ahead, keep going.
But yeah, so anyways, so it comes straight towards you. It takes its hard left. Then it comes towards me.
So it gets right beside me, when it starts getting downwind. And
and if you check out our Instagram or Facebook or whatever, you'll see the video. Because I took a quick glimpse. You were within 7 yards, if not closer.
Yeah.
Right there. So, anyways, he comes in. He finally ventures off or whatever. He figures out kind of what's going on. So
he doesn't really run.
He don't really run, but he's kind of just scampers off.
He gets pretty jumpy.
He kind of just scampers off, because eventually he catches my wind, but he's too young and too dumb to figure out what's kind of going on.
Right.
So that goes on. He leaves. We eventually see a few other ones.
It wasn't probably 3 minutes later.
Yeah,
I hear another popping.
Right.
2 cows and a bull start coming down, from the top.
Yep.
We see them. They're probably 100 yards away.
Yeah, they
I don't know, 80.
Yeah,
80 probably. Yeah.
And they start dropping below us, and I don't know. There was just nothing we could really do.
Yeah, they were just out of our range.
So let's see. I'm trying to think from there.
Then we decided that all right, it's time to regroup.
Yeah,
and figure out where we're gonna go.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's exactly
what
happened.
We sat there for a while.
Yeah, we sat there for a little bit. Then we kind of regrouped. Hey,
we're all we're standing right beside each other.
Yeah, we literally. There's 3 of us. We're standing there by the tree or whatever.
What kind of triangle is this now?
Shoulder to shoulder.
This is a right.
It's a
angle.
legit triangle, motherfucker.
Right angle.
This is a circle jerk.
So we're just sitting there, we're talking about, hey, did you guys see that? We're just kind of bantering back and forth, and then all of a sudden, holy shit, hey, there comes some more cows.
You hear some popping, and all of a sudden you see some ears and heads coming your way.
Yeah.
I think you guys are kind of standing in front of me, at the right angle. I say, hey, rack one, here we come. And they, at least 2 cows start coming at us.
There's 2.
It was at least 2, maybe 3.
From above us.
Yeah.
And they came, the angle they were coming, they crossed the path where we walked up that ridge.
Yeah. They got a little sketchy. They were, hey, what's going on? You did a few cow calls. And
I tried to just draw them in a little farther. Probably should have shut up.
But, I mean, to be fair. there was one big-ass down tree right
huge,
there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was right there. So we were thinking they were going to...
They had to walk around it.
Yeah, they had to walk around it, or they had to, make a big jump.
This tree was chest high to us.
Right. It was a big tree.
I mean, all you could see was neck.
Right.
So they kind of dicked around or whatever, and we were kind of okay, they're kind of starting to make their way around.
I was standing over Pat's shoulder and range finding, trying to give him ranges.
Yeah. At one point, Andy's like, "Hey, do you have a problem shooting a calf?"
I think
he's like,
calf.
I don't give a fuck, man. Let's do this. Let's do it. And
I was a little amped up.
I get it. I would have done the same thing.
This one like had us pinned. Like she knew something was up because she was smelling around, looking around. She was looking like right at us.
Yeah.
And you could see from her neck to her head. And I was looking over Pat, like straight over Pat's shoulder. I said, "Pat, shoot that bee in the face."
And if it wasn't 60 yards, I
it was a little too far. Like I was a little excited.
Yeah.
But so those cows like kind of like I don't know how to explain it. Like they walk, and I thought they were going to come around that big downfall and keep working our direction. So as they did that, we hear some popping back behind us.
Yeah.
Pat looks over my shoulder and goes, "Andy, rack one. There's one behind us." So me and you spin, and literally there's a cow at 50 yards, and me and you immediately just draw.
Yeah.
Me and Micah do. And my arrow squeaks across my wrist. I think I need to change the felt on my wrist.
Something.
Dude, it's like squeaks, and she just stops and looks. And, of course, when she stops, her vitals are behind a tree.
Yeah. I mean, I literally had, looking back, you might want to take the shot or whatever, but
If it was a target or something, you would have shot.
I would have shot. But there was so much, it was such a little gap. I was like, I'm not going to take that.
I can't stop laughing.
What are you laughing at, bud?
We'll get to it.
Okay. So anyways, I'm like, I'm not taking this shot.
Laying this
So
plane.
I let out.
Micah decides he's
or-
ethical.
Yeah, Nate, or fucking Andy.
Dude, Andy's all full. Michael is down.
Andy had
I'm
Andy
still
had a
full
full draw at like probably 3 minutes. Maybe not that long, but I mean it was a long time. He was full draw. It was like all this girl needed to do was take one step, and she was freaking done.
One step.
One step.
And she keeps so she would look away from, so she had her pegged. She was looking right at us.
Yeah.
She would look away. I'd draw again because I think, okay, she's
Right,
getting
she's gonna
getting
take a
ready to
step.
step.
Yeah.
So I'd draw again, and then she'd peg us. Then I start shaking, so I'd let down real slow. And then she looked behind her, and I was like, oh, she's definitely moving now. It's like she looked straight back. So then I drew.
And he said, "I'm so tired." Like 2 seconds.
Dude,
later,
I said, yeah.
"Well, let down
I'm
again."
so tired. I can't
I
do
just
it.
drew. I don't care. Let down again.
So I let down one more time. Anyway, but then she takes a step, and I think me and you both immediately ripped it back.
Immediately,
Well, I said rip it back. I mean, we popped that sucker back quick.
boom.
So she takes a step to her left, like she's going to turn. She starts turning, and she's at 50 yards. Pat's right, like over my shoulder, ranging. 50 yards, shoot for 50. So she takes a left. I say, stop her. And, like, Pat doesn't have a call. Nobody has a call.
I had my call. I couldn't get it out of my cheek.
So I have mine in my mouth. I try to make a noise, and it comes out as just, like, weird. She, like, turns and looks back at us. I see front shoulder as she's turning. I'm like, oh, I think whitetail. She's going to look over her shoulder and stop.
Yeah, she's gonna stop.
I let it rip. Instinct, I hit the release. I shot. She did not stop.
No, she just
took
kept on going.
She took like 2 or 3 hard steps.
Yep.
And
She was out of frame.
I mean,
before arrow
to be
got
fair, to be fair, me, Pat, we just watched that arrow just go.
dude, I let it fly.
It was the slowest going arrow I've ever seen in my life.
Set her a little too hard. But it did. It just it seemed like it took eternity for that arrow to get there.
I don't know what happened there, but so that all happens.
Clean miss.
Everything.
Oh,
Yeah,
clean miss.
20
I missed
foot.
her by 4 freaking feet.
yeah. That elk was out of the county.
Dude, she took off running. Like she didn't to go back. Like when she turned, she didn't turn and stop. She turned and like trot. Like I don't want to say trotted. Like she ran.
Yeah.
And in 2 steps, I literally went from vitals to I missed that. I hate to say it because I feel unethical for taking that shot. I really do.
Yeah.
Because she should have stopped. Should have made a better shot. But she was so alert. I've been 9 years. I feel like I had to let it fly.
You got to send it, bud.
Yeah, send it.
Anyway,
Full send.
I was full send. By the time the arrow got there, I was almost chuckling on how bad I actually missed.
Yeah.
Like it was so bad. It was bad. I missed by 4 feet.
It was kind of humorous,
Yep, it was.
but
I'll tell myself.
yeah.
I don't care.
Hey, I mean, it
They
happens.
go a long ways in the timber when they don't.
Yeah. So, anyways, so that all dies down, and you have light knocks or whatever. So we kind of tilt our way and we're like, hey, we gotta find Andy's arrow. So we get to Andy's arrow, and we're like, "You killed the fuck out of that tree, right?"
So yeah, we walked.
Yeah,
so
you killed that
first
tree.
of all, it flew like 80 yards.
Yeah, it was gone.
I shot my 50-yard pin and I stuck a tree at 80 yards.
Yeah. So finally,
Bravo, Matthews,
Yep.
BXR.
boom, 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 boom. Get there. We get to, we gather
Fire's
around.
really popping now.
We gather
Day
around
two
your
is taking
arrow.
a while.
Right?
Yeah.
We gather around your arrow,
We're halfway
It was
there.
pretty exciting.
and we're sitting there, and we're like, "Dude, that was crazy, right?"
Oh,
First 2 hours of hunting.
Sorry, I was on,
just had a headset ripped off somebody.
sorry. I was on fire.
The fire's going a little crazy right now.
There's an ash that leads on.
My head's connected to that.
Sorry, Brandon.
Remember when we wondered if this was going to be a good idea?
I was on fire and I kicked the cord to Brandon's headset and it about went in the fire.
The fire's sparking all over.
Okay.
Anyway, so we get
We
to your.
did say this was going to be a shit show.
It
We
was.
warned you. This is
Yeah.
change channel.
So we get to your arrow.
Don't do that.
We're literally looking at it. It's in a dead tree on the ground.
Which check Instagram or Facebook. I'm sure Micah's going to post a picture.
Damn right I am.
I killed the shit out of that tree.
You did. It was already dead.
That's like the fifth thing we
It
killed.
was buried to the fletchings.
Yeah. So we get there, and we're just talking about everything that happened. We're just us three are in the
I was
group.
trying to fix because I'm shooting those severs.
Yeah.
So the mechanical. I was trying to fix it. You okay, Nathan? Okay.
But anyways, yeah. So you're trying to fix it. We're just kind of sitting there chilling, and then you guys are pointing towards me. I'm pointing towards whatever direction.
We're looking north. You're looking south.
Yeah, I'm looking south. And I'm like, oh my god,
Dude.
coyote!
There's a
right
coyote.
there. There is a coyote right there.
And if you guys know us,
We love to kill coyotes.
2 more steps, it'd have been a dead coyote.
not every coyote season's elk season, but every elk season's coyote season.
Dang right, dude. I don't know how big that coyote was, but
You fluffy.
I guarantee you, it
Kind of
would
looked like
beat.
that husky.
It would. It would beat any heavy dog
In Missouri.
competition in Missouri.
He's biggin'.
The coyotes around here, they're a different breed.
They're built different.
Yeah, they're
Dude,
built
when
different.
they
for
howl,
sure.
their howl's deep.
Sounds
Dude, they're scary.
really different.
They are
They got
scary.
some shit in their britches.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
But anyways,
Sorry.
so you guys drew back. He
No.
ended up catching us.
We didn't
or whatever.
We were about to.
Yeah, you were about to draw away.
Pat racked it. I didn't even get an arrow knocked because I was trying to
really?
fix an arrow. Yeah. It just
Yeah. That was
And that was, I mean,
No,
that was
Dude,
actually.
this was all like literally before 8 o'clock in the morning.
and
No,
then
before 8:35.
8:35, sorry.
I mean, just to prolong, we go
Walked.
around the mountain a little bit.
Bow
Me and
hiked.
us three, we ended up seeing 3 bears.
Tree bears.
Well,
3 bears.
so back up before the bear.
Okay,
We're
Was
sitting
that
at
the
that park
advice?
and we're eating a little lunch.
that's true.
And all of a sudden, Pat goes, "There's an elk in those woods."
That's right.
And we look over, and there's an elk skirting us. It's probably 30 yards to the edge of the timber. We're in it. We're in like, if you picture like this big pasture at the top of a mountain. We're in a little chunk of trees in the middle. There's 30 yards till the timber starts after those trees. And that elk is 20 yards probably in the timber. So probably 50 yards in there. But barely, like you can barely see a silhouette moving. And it's in thick shit.
I never saw it.
Yeah. He goes, there's an elk in them woods. Needless to say, we did not get that one killed.
Yeah.
Now, when your hunting partner suggests you should walk over there and see if you can see it in the timber.
I honestly,
Do
well,
not
I was
take
just
that
like,
advice.
Walk across the middle of the open.
I was, you know what?
See if you can
F
kill
it. F it. Send it. Full send. Full send. Go.
Michael was all go. No brakes.
Yep.
All gas. That was
Good
close.
shot.
It did not work.
Anyway.
So
So
yeah,
after that,
We saw 3 bears.
after that, we kind of walked down the edge of the
Park?
You know, we call them parks or whatever. It's pretty much it's pasture ground.
Never
Is what
seen
you want to
no-
call
never
it.
seen no
You
damn
know,
swim
if you've
set.
never been out in the mountains, any type of opening, they call them parks. More than likely, it just looks like pasture. So we kind of walk down, and we walk our whatever, and all of a sudden I'm like, what the F is that over there across the field? So I get my
another coyote.
yeah, I was like, dude, that's a coyote. I get my binoculars on it. I'm like, dude, no, that's a bear. So I don't know how many yards was it? Like 100.
Oh, 200.
We can't do yards
200.
because
Yeah, we're
right before that.
yeah.
none
Come
of
to
us
find
can
out, we're really
yards
bad at yardage.
across the park.
Yeah, but anyway,
Mountain
so
yardage is not the same as Missouri yardage.
yeah. So us three, we see a bear, 2 cubs, cut across the park. You know, that was pretty cool. That's the first time I've seen a bear out here.
Yeah, it was a bear and 2 cubs. And at first, like the bear went across, like, oh, that's a cub.
Yeah.
And then, like, it was a cinnamon. Like, it wasn't like a black bear. Like, one black. It was like a brownish. I don't know what you want to call it.
Cinnamon.
She came out. I was like, that's a cub. And then the actual cub came out.
I'm like, no, that's a cub.
Oh, that's a cub. So that's a sow.
Little.
And then she
I mean,
starts coming
to be
across.
fair,
And all of a
to
sudden,
be
here comes the
Little.
second part, or the second cub. And he's like, hey, wait for me.
You're right. I'm pretty sure I could have took that bear.
In a fist fight, I think you win.
I think so too. I mean, she was tiny. If I had to guess, 100 pounds, maybe.
It was
100,
a
120.
definitely
size of a good dog.
Yeah.
first year
First year bear.
breeding sow.
Anyway. So that
That was day 2.
That was an
That was day
eventful
two.
day 2.
It was very
for us. It was super. It was 7 elk. We seen a total of 7 elk.
Yeah.
Day 2, with 3
No.
bear and a coyote.
9. We saw 2 more that we bumped.
Do we?
Yeah, it was right before I fell.
Oh yeah, you fell.
Yeah,
down.
that's right.
On
So
the log.
so Micah and Pat both fell down the way down the mountain that day.
Yep.
A little scary, but we're all okay.
But action. That was
We seen action.
important.
I mean, we were in it.
I'll get mine over with real quick. I didn't see shit.
What
What'd y'all do?
was day
Day
2?
2. I don't really remember.
I don't
Y'all-
think
you remember where y'all
I don't think
went?
we
You
saw
had
anything
anything.
day 2.
I went to the same place
We did too.
on my
didn't we?
own.
I think
No,
you
y'all
guys did.
didn't.
I'm pretty
Go
sure
to
you
the-
went with them, didn't you?
That's the
Was
day
that the
you
same
went
day
with
we were
us.
together?
Yeah.
Okay.
We
I
didn't
don't
see
think you
anything.
guys seen anything.
No, we didn't. No, we had a day of just dejection.
Hunters, wasn't it?
It was hunters. All like,
Yeah, you
you
found
found
out
all the
there was
all
like
the
10
hunters at top.
hunters hunting
Yeah.
at top.
well, like we got to
You found
this,
all
this
the
trail
camps.
that we ate our lunch at. We ate our lunch, and we're like, which way do we want to go? We want to go east or west. So we did some. We flipped coins with rocks, and like, what are we gonna do? We decide we're gonna go east. And yeah, James Rittenhouse got him. We decided we're gonna go east, so we take like what,
think it wasn't
15
Kyle.
steps.
Yeah, we go up to the top of that little knob.
Just a little knob over this hill that we ate our lunch on, and there's 2 tents right in the middle of this trail. So we're like, all right.
Which normally, like, we've been out again. This is what, your 8th, 7th year?
Not for me, but I don't know about you.
It's my 9th.
For me, it's 6, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's my
5 or
9th,
6.
my 9th year. And normally, like, this is only the 2nd year we've had people camp on that trail. Which the trail goes to the top of the mountain that we hunt.
No, and it gets worse. So we say, we'll go west. So we start walking west. We run into those guys. They're
the
coming
2
back.
guys, yeah.
And they're like, hey, we're going back to our tents because there's guys right down here right now. And, oh, by the way, there's also 5 guys camping at the very
Yeah.
top of the mountain.
Yeah.
So then me, you, and Russell kind of were just like, all right. So we just headed down the mountain again, and I think we set up for a little while, and I ended up just saying I'm leaving. And I left you guys
Yeah, you left.
before dark.
Yeah, and we stuck around till dark, and then we left.
And
Thank you, Mike.
that was day 2 for us. Day 3, I'll just get mine out of the way. I didn't see shit. Like, that's going to be my...
Dude, I don't even, like, remember what day 3...
I don't really remember. I don't need to remember day 3, 4, or 5. Well, wait. Day 3 was when
No,
we
day
saw
3,
Mr.
you guys-
Muley deal.
Yep.
Deers.
You guys went to the other side.
Yeah. Dude, that was a good day. I mean, if we would have had the fucking tag, damn it, we would have.
Calibrate, bro. Calibrate.
Why does it matter?
Calibrate.
Fuck that.
He's just being real. He's just being real. Let him go.
Was that day 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's day 3.
So day 3, me and Nathan, because me and Nathan usually are hunting partners or whatever, we decide, hey, let's go to this one knob or whatever. Let's go check this out. We've heard good,
Heard good things.
heard good things about it. We never really checked it out, to be honest. So we go in, and we really didn't get in that far.
Well, we got to where we were going to go.
Yeah, we got to where we were going. Like, hey, dude, there's a wallow. Let's just go sit over it, see what happens.
So remember, I have the mule deer tag.
Yeah,
Andy is the only one of
Only
us
one.
that has a mule deer tag. So, whatever. So me and Nathan, we sit there. We're sitting on this tree, and I'm like, I don't know how long we were sitting there. 10, 20 minutes?
wasn't long.
Yeah, it wasn't long. We were just sitting there chilling. Like, hey, we're going to take a break, see what happens, whatever. And all of a sudden, boom. I grab Nathan. Dude. I'm like, dude. Look over here. And
So I initially get excited that there's an elk.
Nathan freaks out because I'm sure I would have been the same way, but I was like, dude, that's a freaking big ass muley. So, I mean,
You guys took a video.
Yeah, you'll
took a
see.
video.
You'll see the video.
Although there's some words
Massive
in it.
mule deer.
There was not one, not two,
but three good ass mule deer.
Bucks.
I mean, 150 plus.
Oh yeah.
I mean, in
oh
the
no
score
doubt.
scale.
No doubt.
So, I mean, we sat there, and they were within 25 to 40 yards. That's what they were ranged at.
They were within kill range.
Yeah,
and they all were like
Were they?
shooting. Yeah. Shooter range. Like,
they were all shooters.
They were there.
I have some few choice words for you guys.
But yeah, so anyway, like we're like Andy's gonna be pissed when he hears about this. But yeah, we saw them and then we left just to
Yeah, I mean, we
move this along.
Yeah,
We left. We went around to the north side of this place and sat for a little while longer. We dug Flutie to dude. We ended up actually sitting like above you by about 300 feet as far as
Yeah.
the elevation goes.
That same day that's right.
Maybe
Me,
400
we were on
feet
the other-
elevation.
other
Me
side
and
of the
Dad
mountain.
went around.
because you were
Right
on
on
the
the
other end.
Yeah. And then we thought it was a hunter, and then we were proven right when, no joke, Mike actually is like, is that dude bugling? And I'm like, I think so. And at that time, we still wondered if it was an elk because we had the wind to our advantage, so we could have been right. And then they started bugling after all the cow calling, and you could tell, I'm like, they don't have a tube, man. Like, I'm pretty sure that's a hunter. So we ended up busting out of there and left. And that was that. And then that was my
down
day.
there.
Brandon, did y'all see anything day three?
Day 3's. I set out that morning. I think day 3,
Yeah, you did.
and
yeah.
then
Because day 4 is
Russell and I went to
the thing I'm looking forward to most.
Yeah,
of this entire story.
the good
But
shit.
then in the
Do you have
afternoon-
anything to say about day 3, Andy?
Day 3, we didn't see anything.
No.
We heard the bugle, same bugle that you heard.
Found a couple good
I heard a
wallows.
good snort. I thought it was something coming. Never seen anything.
You watched me fall asleep in 30 seconds of leaning
Dude.
against a tree.
Dad and Pat both fell
That's not
asleep
new for you.
and started snoring, so it was one of those days.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll move on. Keep the listeners interested.
So day 4,
Was it?
trying to think, day
Day
4.
This
Day
is a good
4,
day, right?
Day 4 is like this
That's
is
the
it.
day, right?
Yeah, that was the day.
Okay.
That's the day.
Let's get into that. Day 4.
I think it was day 4. Pretty
Well,
sure.
Day 4. I took the morning off. I really did.
Day
You took
4.
Day 4, right? You and Mike were
No,
here
he
together?
Day
took the
4
morning before Micah did off, right?
Okay.
Or did you guys take the
we
same
took
day
the
off?
same morning off, didn't we?
Yeah, we did
Yeah.
take
So
some
it's
So
morning.
day
4 morning.
day
So his day
4
was day 5.
Okay.
Day 4, I'll just recap my day 4. I didn't say shit. Y'all probably didn't see nothing either.
No, day
No,
4.
we went
Me and
muleys.
Pat went, and because you guys seen all those muleys on
Oh
the
yeah,
top,
you went mule deer
we
hunting.
took off, and within like 200 yards of the 4-wheeler, we seen two does,
2 does and a nice
and a
buck.
nice buck.
And you were not opposed to taking the dough.
I'll take it.
Not at that point.
I'll take
Yeah.
it.
Absolutely, man.
Like, I know.
I think like day, like
I know
the-
everybody wants a buck, but at the same time, like, I don't know how to explain. It.
listen,
Like, public
listen,
land
like-
is so difficult.
yeah.
You get to come out here for 10 days out of 365.
No, not 10
7.
days, man. Like
We're
that's,
not- yeah,
we're not
true.
even here 10 days.
We're gone
It's
10
like
days.
7.
We're here 8 days.
yeah.
It's like
because
7.
2 days of travel.
We hunted 7 days.
we hunted 7
7
days.
So 7 days.
And like
7 days out of 365. So it's hard.
and if
Like,
you're
it
hunting
is.
public land and you, let's say, drew a mule deer tag, right?
Yep.
You've never killed a mule deer.
Nope.
So it's just
I
like
would've
that with
shot
elk.
a
Like,
regardless.
we want to like do
Ugh,
that.
Brandon, yeah.
So that day, well, to be fair,
To be fair.
On that day, you guys had just seen those nice bucks over there, so I was like, "Hey, I'm going to go for a buck."
Yeah.
Right.
And we seen like 2 does like came running through, and here comes this buck.
Well, because I was dealing with you to stop. 'Cause
yeah.
I caught the does.
That's pretty good. Like, so usually I walk first. I walk, like, find the path. Pat's always looking up in front of me. He starts yelling, "Stop! Stop!" So I'm like in mid-step, so I have to finish my step, right? Get your balance. And here comes this doe. Like, the first doe is already moving and gone. The second one comes through, and here comes this buck. This buck stops at 79 yards to him, so
79
probably
yards.
72 to me. And it's just one of those things, like, I'm not ready to take that shot at that point in time.
And that buck had no
that's
idea.
a
we were
long
there.
shot.
That's a good shot.
That
Especially this is like
This is
2 minutes
6:45.
2
like,
minutes
this is-
after legal shooting line.
Right, right.
Like, it's still hard
It's
to
a
see.
and
ways.
I don't care who you are. You pull that bow back. If you're in the timber, those yardages are different.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
It's a long ways.
yeah, it's a long ways. I mean, everything looks different.
Anyway, I didn't even draw on him. I was like, okay, maybe we can get on him. We move up, like, they run off. They run downhill, so everything's moving down, it seems like. We move up probably another 120 yards. I see something moving up on the ridge. Here comes 2 does from the ridge. They come down, and I truthfully probably could have shot one of them, like 30 to 40 yards, I'd say.
I think it was like 42. I think. is
Yeah,
about
I
where
think
they're at.
42 is what they came by. But I kept thinking in my head, like, hey, we just seen a buck. You guys seen 3 nice bucks. Like, maybe not. So I kind of hold off for a little bit. And I see a third animal body moving off the top of this ridge coming down. I'm like, okay, this might be the same group I just seen.
Right.
That's a good buck. He's going to follow the same path these are. I'm going to shoot him. So I wait. I can hear him coming. He cuts to the other side of this, like, dark timber, like this pine, like this little streak of pine that comes up in the middle of the
It's
aspens.
probably 10 yards wide, but you can't see through it.
You can't see through it. So he cuts to the back side of that. If he cuts to the front side of it, he's at that 42-yard mark. Back side of it, I can't even see him. So I can hear him, but I can't see him. So I don't know if it was the same group or not. It could have been. I don't know. But we kept on moving that day.
Yep, went to the same spot
Nate and
that
Micah seen
that
theirs.
you guys were at. Seeing
mule
those
deer.
Oh, I straight up marked that spot for Andy. Like,
Yeah,
we're
right
like,
here.
He sent me a screenshot.
Yeah,
like,
'cause
sent
we
a-
can't
You need
have
to go
students here.
right
Just sit
here.
Right here.
We went there, sat there for a while. We
Which-
had
I mean,
a
to be
bugle
fair-
below us. We probably should have chased, but we didn't.
We did hear a bugle on that ridge down below. And, yeah, like Pat just said, we probably should have chased it.
Found out later in the day that was a mistake. We moved a little further, kind of side hilling through all that. Got busted by 3 or 4 other mule deer. I don't know. I know the last 2 were does. I saw them.
Dude, they were, like, tucked into, like, a little, like, ravine.
We were 20 yards off the
Yeah.
trail they were traveling.
If we would have went 20 yards to the left, we would have.
which I mean, we're all learning something here, but the mule deer we saw, all of them
They're
were
going
moving
downhill.
All of them.
With the
Going
wind
all of
going
them were
to the
going
back.
downhill,
downhill.
wind to their back. I mean, that's just not what you would expect.
No.
And then we dropped off into
Oh,
the devil's
geez.
asshole.
So we've been been here a long time, never been over there. It looks pretty like
Easy walk. It
easy
looks
walk
easy on the
and-
map.
Yeah.
It is
It is not.
We got into a spot we were straight. This was like we were going to take that day off until they seen all those mule deer,
That was one of my longest days.
and that
the
ended
trip.
up being like a super long hike. We burned ourselves
Looked good on
out.
paper.
It
Exactly,
looked
it was not.
And I wanted to go to that spot the day before, which
Yeah.
we're not going to get in the story.
Yeah,
But
glad you didn't.
yeah,
Yeah, dude, we
You
dropped
guys were like,
down.
yeah, it's a
and
good
to
thing
get-
you guys went the other way.
Dude, to get out of there was like a 3-hour hike we were not anticipating.
No. We found some cool stuff, but
Yeah.
it was the way we went was not the right way to go. So lesson learned.
So that was day 4.
Four.
Day 5, I'll just go ahead and get my stuff out of the way. I didn't see shit.
Didn't see anything.
It's a common theme for me, but this is probably one. I've been doing this for 6 years. Andy for longer, Russell for longer than that. Roger and Albert been going for decades. At
Long
this
time.
point.
I'm 1 year behind you. So
none of us have ever like experienced something like what Brandon experienced
Yeah.
on day 5.
I mean,
Right.
shit's crazy.
Brandon, get into day 5 for you guys.
So, well, we hunted all morning, but this was in the afternoon. We didn't see anything in the morning. We were walking to the east side, and we bumped a calf. And so, it kind of ran off. Not really, but it kind of did, just being young. And
it
then
yogged off.
he kind of kept acting like it wanted to come back, but not really. So we just kind of kept chasing it a little bit, and then we ended up going. We found a good wallow, and so I set up over it, and Russell went down the hill like 100 yards or so. And let's see, I was sitting there, and I heard something come up behind me, thinking it's probably that calf coming back. Kept acting like it wanted to come back,
Right.
and it's coming. I'm like, man, that thing's getting really close. And I'm sitting like on a log with like a pile of like 3 or 4 logs behind me, so I can't see behind me. And I'm just sitting there, and I hear like a
Talk about what was
What?
going on right before that, though.
What were you doing?
The squirrel pissing you off.
Oh,
'cause it was
yeah.
going crazy.
that
Yeah.
chipmunk climbed up on that
chipmunk.
stump and was just like barking at me. It was pissing me off. So I grabbed the stick I was whittling and I threw it at it. And I missed him, and he just took a step to the side and kept barking at me. I'm like, this thing, like, get out of here. And then I'm like, whatever. He finally left, and I hear, and then I hear like some scratching. I'm like, what is that? I'm like, that doesn't sound right. I'm like, I thought that was a calf. So I grab my bow and kind of stand up a little bit, and I just looking right in the face of a black bear.
A
and-
When we say in the face,
Big-
we're talking like what? 8
5 feet, 8 feet.
yeah, he was. I mean, at
And it
least
was
to
a
my waist,
big boar.
on all fours. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he and I was like, just standing on my bow. I was like, hey, and he just looked at me. I'm like, well, that was the only plan I had.
I guess I died now.
Whatever,
bear.
Oh shit!
Whatever happens now is up to God.
And so my pack is sitting, beside me, like 3 feet away. And I'm like, well, I need to get my pistol. So I like run over my pistol, like backpack real quick, try and grab my pistol. It's got the thumb release. I can't get the pistol out. I'm like, come on! Finally got
He's
it out.
not moving. He's not
Didn't
like,
move, just was staring at me. And I pulled my bow in one hand, pistol in the other hand, and I was like, get the hell out of here!
Not what you actually say.
Well, I said, get the fuck out of here! And he kind of just turned and walked off. And then he went up the hill a little bit and just stopped, looked back at me. I'm like, man, this dude ain't not scared of me. And then sat there for like,
Which, mind you, we all could have bought a bear tag.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
should have.
$100 $100 you
I
get out of
bought
every
one- I
tag.
think I bought one for the last like 4 years. I didn't buy one this year.
Yeah.
I
mean-
the last 2 years that I was here, I bought.
I still haven't actually seen a bear here. I might have saw one time, but like that's why we don't buy bear tags anymore, because we don't
Never
ever
saw
see them,
bears.
and we're not actively hunting bears. So it's like we kind of feel like we're just wasting $100.
Yeah.
It was like if you happened to see a bear, and none of us
Right.
happened to see a bear.
Till this year.
Brandon
Until you were face to
had
face.
one at
Yeah.
8 feet.
And before all that, I was sitting there eating my Cheez-Its thinking, man, that's probably going to attract the bears. So I'm just like, back of my mind, and sure enough.
Here comes a bear.
Yeah, that was.
I know one thing. You definitely ruined the naps for me.
I haven't taken a
I'm gonna
nap
be honest
since
with
then.
you.
Did you
I
seriously?
feel like I always feel like I'm kind of a sissy in the woods. Like I don't like out here. I don't like hunting by myself. I would prefer to be with somebody. I mean, I'll do it, but I hunted 2 or 3 times by myself this year, but I don't love it. And I'm like, I always make sure I have a sidearm on me, And some of you other guys don't care. Like, I
Dude,
think
I
Micah has
probably
one.
maybe took mine 2 or 3 times.
So-
I don't have one.
And,
I do not carry a gun.
But what's funny is after this whole bear encounter, I had no freaking problem taking naps still on the
You took serious naps.
100 yards from where you guys saw those 3 bears.
Yeah.
I sawed logs for like an hour and a half, and it's just weird because I would be the guy that's scared of them. I'd be like, okay, I got to stay away. It's just kind of funny, I guess. Maybe it's because I had Pat near me. A couple 100 yards or a couple 10 yards
Pat was
away or
packing.
whatever.
I was like 40 yards away.
Yeah. So
And I sound like a bear when I sleep.
You do.
You do.
So the same day, I think that was the same day you seen that bear. We went up to the same spot where we seen all the elk, and
No,
The
it's the
bear.
next day.
That was the next day.
the next day.
Yeah, because I went with you guys up there.
Yeah, it was the next morning.
Yeah. So that's what. Yeah, that was the next day because that's when we were talking about like Micah couldn't take a nap anymore because all the bear sign and everything. But I think all of us, besides Micah, took a nap right where we seen the bear.
where we saw a bear.
If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. If it's my day, it's my day.
It's my
Yeah, if you're gonna die, you're gonna die. Whatever.
Bring it on.
and that day
Not before
because you
Gator
guys
gets his
because that day the next day
I haven't
because
told
you
my
guys
wife. Has anybody told their wives yet that happened to Brandon?
no
Nope.
not yet.
game. Don't plan on it.
I'm gonna tell my wife with the intention of trying to get a new gun.
There you go.
But anyway, that next day, because you guys were with me, that day was pretty easy. We didn't see shit.
We did bounce one.
We
That's
bounced.
one.
Brandon's going to bed. Hey,
He's out.
good
It's
story,
on.
Brando.
It's what, 10, 11 o'clock.
It's pretty late out here, and we're leaving in the morning.
Yeah, we're supposed to pack
shit.
up and be gone.
Hey, finish that beer.
What time is it?
11:45.
Yeah.
About that time.
Whoops. That 4:45 alarm is going to be early.
Is that what it is?
I don't know.
I ain't getting up that early.
Anyway, we didn't see anything that day. That was second to last day, right?
No,
That
I don't know.
was
And then
that was day 5. Day 6.
oh yeah, because day 6,
You had an encounter.
me yeah, I went back to
So day 6, I decided I was going mule deer hunting, and that was day 6, wasn't it?
yeah,
Yep.
that was
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yesterday. So I walk up. We have a place we kind of park our 4-wheelers, and we walk from there. I went the opposite direction to where like the mule deer are. They go the other direction. They have to walk down or like a hill, cross the creek, and walk back up the hill to get into the dark timber. I walk the other direction uphill, probably 100 yards from the 4-wheeler. I'm walking. I pull out my phone, and I'm standing on a big rock, and I look at my Onyx, and I'm like, okay, I want to go that direction. Got it. That's where I need to go. Put it in my pocket, look up, and here is a mule deer doe staring at me. And I'm like, where did you come from? Like, you're just, boom, there. I think I walked up on her on her bed, and then she just stood up. So anyway, I like, you're not moving. So I knocked an arrow. I was like, well, shit, she's still not moving. Like, I was going to guess, like, what range she is. It's like, if you're not going to move, fine. So I pull my rangefinder out, and I click 32 yards. It's like, all right, 30-yard pin, here we go. I draw. I'm anchored. Everything's good. Let it go. Crack. There she runs, and my arrow is literally just dangling out of her
almost
shoulder.
the whole thing.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
literally all my entire arrow is just dangling out of her shoulder as she runs downhill, like at the 4-wheelers. Like literally, she runs at. There's a tent. We didn't know it was there, but there's a tent like probably 50 yards from where we parked, and she runs at that tent, takes a right, and just runs, and it keeps running back up into the mountain. I'm like, all right, well, I know it's far forward. She was quartered to me, so I'm pretty sure I ran it up into her shoulder, like diagonally,
Yeah.
and caught the shoulder long
And
ways.
just deflected back out.
You're right.
Yeah.
And so I'm shooting mechanical, so it's like a barb, like a fish hook, so it won't come out. And she's running. I'm watching my freaking was it nocturnal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm watching it just dangle there. And so I start walking immediately because I was like, all right, that was a bad shot. Obviously, I don't want to push up on her, but I want to make sure I find sign. So I walked to where she was standing, and I knew the exact path she walked. And I walked it for 100 yards and found nothing. Didn't find my arrow, didn't find blood. So then I started doing like big circles. And I probably walked, I don't know, for a solid hour in these massive circles looking for my arrow, for her,
Blood, anything.
anything. So I finding logs I knew she had to cross. So typically if a deer jumps over a log, you find blood, right? I looked and looked and looked and looked. Didn't find anything. So at that point I had to make a decision, okay, what did I see? What ethically did I feel? I don't feel like I made it a lethal shot on that deer.
Right.
So I kept
We just talked about this with Aaron Blicey of the Fall podcast about, reading their body language. He's obviously talking about whitetail in that show, but this equates reading body language. Where did the shot hit?
Right.
What did you see? And you put all those things together, the arrow hanging out
With
almost
her,
entirely.
yeah, with her quartered to and my arrow hanging out, I was like, oh, crap. Because because I did, and I intentionally hugged the shoulder, knowing she was quartered to. You know, I was trying to slip it right behind the shoulder, and
Right.
I think I just pushed it too far forward.
And you did due diligence, looking for blood, looking for anything.
Dude, I walked forever. I
Yeah.
was so tired. By
Pretty much
like,
the entire time we were hunting, you were looking for her.
Yeah.
Uh,
Before you guys got in the timber, I shot her. Like, you guys were still within eyesight by the time I shot her.
and you
And-
spent the rest of that day.
I spent the rest of that morning for sure looking for her, and then finally I was like, okay, I know what I seen, I know what I can find. I did not kill that doe, so I decided to go ahead and keep on hunting the rest of that day. I ended up seeing 7 mule deer that day, and
Yep.
one big bodied mule deer I bounced. 2 does came down, couldn't get a shot, and then I think I bounced a couple more, just because they're bedded during the middle of the day and it's
Yep.
so hard to get on. It starts turning crunchy.
Yeah, well, it get hot.
In the morning, you can
This is the
sneak through
hottest
Haskins.
out here it's ever been.
It's like probably 80,
no,
85.
couple
It's,
years ago,
it's almost like at home.
It's
it's
probably
rough.
80, 85 in the
Yeah.
afternoon. It starts out like at 45, 50 in the mornings.
Yeah. I like all I've ever had to wear is my hoodie.
Yeah,
I've never put a jacket on yet.
right.
I've got them, but I just have never had to put them on.
I always had to take my hoodie off.
I mean, I
Oh
quit
yeah, no
wearing
doubt,
base
because I
layers.
start sweating. And I'll go ahead and make day 6 easy. I didn't see shit. You went to Pat. You and Raj went to the same mountain I was on.
Yeah, we
that
didn't
day.
see anything. We had an adventure coming out. Apparently, all GPS navigation services.
Yeah, it stopped working. Like
stopped
satellites
working
must have
for-
went down or something.
for a while.
Yeah,
That
because
was,
it happened to me
Yeah.
too.
That was awkward.
We're supposed to meet back up at I don't know what time it was. 2
Well,
o'clock.
2.
Yeah, by 2. We made it there by 2, but
We waited for probably a solid 45 minutes before you guys made an appearance.
You were a little late. It's okay.
We were within
It's okay.
radio distance to know that you guys were coming, but
yeah. But it was like one of those things. Is I know the general direction I need to go,
Oh God.
but
Mikey, you all right, bud?
Micah had a Rittenhouse tumble.
Rittenhouse is winning this fight, I think. But so that was day 6, and then day 7 to add to my shitty, just everything. I took today off. I'm like, I'm done. I'm mentally done. My body's hurting. I'm finished.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm gonna take the day off. I'm gonna get my stuff packed.
Which, I mean, everybody took a day off. That was your first day off.
Yeah, today was my first one.
When I say everybody, okay.
Everybody's
Technically-
taking some time off, except for you two.
Technically, me and Pat did not take a day off.
Right.
we've hunted every day.
But anyway, so we kind of planned on like enjoying ourselves this last evening. Maybe even doing this podcast, which we'll see how
We
this
weren't real sure.
turns out. But so I went into town to get you guys some alcoholic beverages.
Well, yeah, last night we were all frustrated. So we busted open the kill bottle.
And it got
To kill the
drank.
dreams.
It got killed.
So then I went into me, Roger, and Albert. Roger took today off too.
Yep.
We went into town and got you guys some adult beverages, and then we actually went to lunch together at a little diner there in that town, and got some fuel.
Wasn't it Patrick's Diner or Pat's Diner or something?
Pat's Diner.
Yep.
I think that's what it's called.
Drove all, and you're talking about a solid hour and a half just to
to
get
town.
down into these towns. So we do that, and you good, bro? Get that headset on.
He's coming. He's coming.
You just lost your little mic cover.
That'll be all right.
And
Fucked up.
and anyway, we get all the way back to camp, and I can't find my wallet. So
Which
it's in your lap.
we gave you, what, $60 to go buy his boots?
Right. So I can't find my wallet. So now I'm panicking. So I have to drive all the way back there,
Hour and a half.
another hour and a half. By the way, I don't know his name, but I knew I lost it at the gas station. I knew it. So I go back there. I don't see it. I go inside, and this kid that was working there found my wallet with several $100s in cash in it for fuel.
Yep.
Kept it for me. once he asked me my name and, asked me, like, what's in there, I told him my wife's picture's in there, and he's like, all right, here you go. I open it up. All my cash is still in there. So I pulled 50 out, hand it to him. I said, thanks for being a good person, and got my wallet back. That made me feel better because that would have really made this trip
That would have been crappy.
even worse. And then I had to drive all the way back up here. And then y'all went today.
We decided today we were going to throw a Hail Mary and go way deep. It was an hour. It's Micah, how long is it to get there?
Hour and 30.
Hour and 30 on a 4-wheeler to get there. And that's, I hate to say it's a hard ride. Like, it's not like you're cruising down like a gravel road or a pavement road at 40, 50 miles an hour.
Right.
It's a hard 9-10 miles an hour
Max.
for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And y'all,
We got into
So
it.
we got up there and we started in, and we're at a real faint bugle. You kind of tell that it was legit. So, but it was the opposite direction, of course, what we were trying to get to. So we kept on pushing, and then we heard another bugle that was in the direction we were heading, and so we made a play on it, and Micah and Pat dropped below me. I bugled a little bit. They heard a couple grunts, but we never got on him. He just kept moving around, and I don't know, never showed himself. And I don't know, we lasted a little longer that day. Dropped down into a saddle, and once we got into the saddle, we kind of stopped. Rittenhouse got Micah.
the fight is over.
We dropped down to the edge of the saddle I was trying to get to, and we stopped. And usually we stop we walk for probably walk for so long, and we'll stop and just listen. We stopped to listen, and we heard a crack, and then I heard this sound that sounded like I don't want to say a whitetail snort, but like a cow, like a beef cow snort,
right.
like a clearing its nose type deal. I was like, what in the world is that? And I look back up at Pat, and Pat looks at me and goes, right there, he's coming. And so then I look back again, and I see these big old dark legs just walking. I just see these legs walking up, and Pat can see him. You've seen the whole thing.
I've seen
you
the
see
whole
it
thing,
as soon as he cleared the.
It is one of those things, like, if I'd known we were stopping for a minute to stand there and not, just kind of listen for a second and go, I might have knocked an arrow, and I could have had a broadside shot, but it was one of those things, like,
You had an arrow knock and already drawn.
Everything happened so quick.
Yeah.
And he just nonchalantly came through.
And when I say,
an opening, and I saw him, and then
and came through, like, he walked up to 30 yards. Like, all three of us standing there. He walked up to, like, 30 yards and was standing right, like, there's a big tree that V'd, and he was standing right behind it. For me, I couldn't see him at all. I couldn't see body, nothing. But he just, like, disappeared. Like, he's standing 30 yards, and I can't see him at all.
None of us could for a while.
Pat couldn't see him. Micah couldn't see him. We didn't have an angle on him at all. So we started wondering, like, where did he go? Did he, like, turn around and sneak off? Because they call them ghosts in the mountains for a reason. And there's these huge trails where we're at. So we're standing there for, I don't know, a couple minutes, literally. And all of a sudden, Pat says, he's right there. It's a, 5x5. And so he looks through the V of this tree, and this bull is standing perfectly so none of us can see his body. But he is watching us for several minutes, just staring right at us. And about that exact time, he takes off, and he takes a couple hard steps and just starts trotting down this, like, ridge. Yeah. None of us have a shot because he's still moving. But he runs down.
That's what's so aggravating about the way we hunt them is one little thing goes wrong, and it's it. I mean, that's true of any type of hunt.
It's all, you're on the ground, so it's all angles and distance. Like, everything's magnified.
And you don't, like we said earlier, it's like deer hunting for elk. We don't know where they are.
No.
We're just searching for these things in the woods.
Right.
And we can't, like, you know, like on these shows, you hear a bugle, you go after it. So you have an idea what you're going after. We don't know those things, you know. A lot of times if we're calling, we're blind cow calling to hope to pull something into our area.
Right. And before we saw this bull, we were, 50, 75 yards further up. We bugled and heard some heard some pops down below us, and we stood there for 10, 15 minutes thinking something's coming and nothing.
Yeah.
So we moved down, and then we get to the spot and just kind of
Hey, you could just tap out on this one if you want. You're good.
Oh, I'm good now, bud.
And he's back.
I'm fucking back, boys.
and then we just kind of we're chilling, and these paths are so worn down and beaten that
You can walk so
that
quietly.
They look like cow paths.
They do, and three of us can move quietly. So we were sneaking on him, and he was as quiet as could be on the same path,
Just
coming
creeping.
back up to us. And
Right.
it's-
Creep.
You got to creep. Go make a TLC references, Chief.
and it was kind of weird how it all happened. Like it was
so fast.
Everything was so quiet. I didn't hear
So quiet and fast.
the clearing
Yeah.
of his nose or whatever.
No one but me
bull
heard the
did.
clear, like him, like make that snort.
Then all of a sudden,
Boom.
there he is, and it's like,
And he's behind a tree.
So who snuck in on
If
who?
you would have went to like,
Exactly.
Who's hunting who? What's
if
going
you
on
would have
here?
walked to the bull's left, Micah would have had just a literal golden shot. If
would've
it goes
been
to the
perfect.
right, Pat has a golden shot. I'm right in the middle, so like I would have had a shot either way, but those two would have had a shot first. And it's just literally like that's just how it played out. Like it just walked straight up behind this one tree
Yeah.
that we couldn't see around.
And that seems like how it's always is for us right now. Like even for me last year, I saw one elk and I should have killed him. You guys get that one little
one chance. I say it every year. I get
he
one
stands
chance
in the one
to
spot
kill an elk.
you can't make a shot, and it's just like
Yep.
stuff has to go so perfect.
Yep.
And when it almost does and it doesn't, man, it's like a kick
Frustrating.
straight to the balls.
If we'd have taken 3 more steps and stopped,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
there would have
we
been shooting lanes.
us three sat up there for a while, just cussing and discussing and just talking about what we could have done, should have done, what happened, whatever. We moved probably 100 yards down this ridge, and like there's all these. It's like literally a bunch of finger ridges
Mhm.
in this area we're in. Like it's so thick and so I'm gonna say it's not really steep, but like
No.
an elk could just jump from like little finger ridge to finger ridge, and you never see him.
Right.
But anyway, we walk up probably 100 yards. We decide, okay, hey, let's just take a break. We just had a huge adrenaline dump. All of us are like super excited. Let's just calm down a little bit. So we calm down, eat a little bit. I laid down. I'll be honest with you. I laid flat on my back and I took a nap for probably 20, 30 minutes. I wake up, sit up, check out everything. Micah, Pat still, or where I suspected they would be. I'm just laying on my back and I'm just like kind of looking up and listening. And I start hearing popping. I'm like, well, shit, what is that? I hear it again. I'm like, that's a larger animal. So I sit up and I'm kind of laying down in the middle of a trail. Pat's above me on the same trail, sitting on it. And I sit up and here comes this cow, and she's walking diagonally away from me. She came out of this little bottom I couldn't see into, and so like I'm picking her up, coming up this trail. Again, hard to describe, but she's walking diagonally away from me. I see a glimpse of her. Well, here comes a calf. I'm like, well, crap. There's 2 elk. I hear more popping, and there's one more coming. I'm like, oh crap, what is it? I grab the reed. I have a little hat clip that has a reed on it. Yeah, this is a reed call. I throw it in my mouth. I'm like, I don't know what it is. And then I see this bull come up behind the cow and the calf. So I just make 2 cow calls just real quick. Just, and it stops. I'm like, okay. So I slide the bugle tube out of my pack. I'm like, okay, I'm going to make it sound like 1, there's a cow over here, and 2, there's a bull protecting his cows. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing or not. I don't know what I'm doing. So
I do it with my hands
now. I made a chuckle. I just make, just make it sound like there's a bull over here protecting his cows. Well, he turns and like starts walking probably 5 hard steps towards us. I'm like, oh crap! It's gonna
Here
work.
comes the tapping on the tree again.
It's gonna work. So I reach back like obviously they heard me cow call and everything else, but I'm like smacking this tree like, oh, hey guys, he's coming. I look over at Micah, and I'm like, right here he comes, because Micah's going to have the best angle. Honestly, he's going to walk right, like Micah's sitting a little bit above me. I have a good shooting lane down. He should be able to see him coming. I look back and he walks into this brush. Like I see him walking into this brush. Like when I say brush, it's just this thick patch
Thicker
of trees.
spot of pines, young pines.
And he never comes out from behind it. And I'm like, what in the world? Like, okay. Like his cow, like that cow and the calf he was walking up behind went the opposite direction. I didn't think anything of it. I wait for a couple minutes. I let out a bugle and I bark at him and look out a bugle, some chuckles, whatever. We sit there. I let out some more cow calls. I'm like, is he frozen like the one before? Because the one before stood there for like 2-3 minutes. It's like, oh, I don't know what to do. So we sit there. I bet we sit there for, 10 minutes?
Probably, yeah.
Nobody moved a muscle.
Quite a while.
Like, we were not going to budge. Finally, I gave up, and I stood up. Nothing.
He was gone.
He was gone. I never heard a pop. Dude, I never heard a pop. I never heard a stick. I never heard nothing. I heard him coming up the hill. I never heard him leave. This bull just disappeared without a trace.
Mm-hmm. And now we're sitting here.
And, yeah, well, actually, Pat snored one in.
I forgot about that.
Grizzly bear one in.
Yeah, it's been a little while after that. We walked basically the exact direction that both of those bulls took off to. And we got up on this, I don't know, little wet area.
Yeah, a little
and
knob.
we took a look. We set up on top of a little knob so we could see probably, I don't know, 360, 270 degrees around us. And we're tired. It's been a long day. We've had a lot of adrenaline going.
Long day, long week.
Yeah. Excuse me. Pat sits down. Excuse me. Holy crap.
The power of Christ compels you.
Yeah. He's asleep in like 0.2 seconds. Like when I say 0.2 seconds, he sat down
That's
and started.
Pat, man. I've never seen somebody
like
good for you, by the way.
Exactly.
I've never seen somebody lay down and
Proud
be
of you,
asleep
bud.
before
I
they're
wish I
taking a
could do
third
it.
breath.
I wish I could do it.
It's easy.
Like sneezing is for you.
Sorry. So at first I was going to start like throwing pine cones or something at him, like, "Hey, wake up, dude! Like, come on." But I was like, "Dude, we're all tired." I was, you know what? I'm just going to take a nap too. So I lay down. I don't know. Micah, I think, was the only one of us that didn't lay down and take a nap. He sat straight up. We're starting to hit. Pat's
Scared of bears.
Yeah, because of bears. Pat's snoring. All of a sudden, you start hearing this popping. Pat stops snoring. It's like, okay, I think he's awake. But what was that? So I'm pretty sure you woke up then, didn't you?
I did wake up, but I don't know why I woke up.
Yeah.
I just woke up.
So we're both like he's looking down the hill. I'm looking down the hill. And Pat, it's right there. It's right there. Hard right. This elk came down at an angle which he wouldn't have been able to see him if he was awake either way. And I just seen black legs walk across. So that was the fifth elk that day we seen. You can see, you could definitely tell it was an elk just by one, the size, and two, like their legs are black compared to the body. And so it walked kind of diagonally away from us. I tried to cow call a couple times and nothing.
In and out of your life. That's what they do,
dude. Where we're at, these finger ridges, like everything's a finger ridge, and the wind. You might have a solid wind for 2 minutes, and it's going to change directions.
Yeah.
And it's just sitting here like when I say directions, I mean like 90 degrees directions, and it'll go.
That's what's
360.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It just swirls.
It's
constantly.
so aggravating because you get to a place you're like, I like this setup.
Yeah,
I like this setup.
Exactly.
5 minutes later, this setup's trash.
Because the wind.
Yeah. So, and now we're sitting here recording. This is by the way, folks, thanks for sticking with us on this one. This is a first for us on Missouri Woods and Water.
This is on the
We are
Mountain
sitting.
Podcast.
We started with 5 dudes.
Brandon went to
We're
bed.
down to 3.5.
Russell went to bed before we started.
That's fair enough.
He's hunted hard this week.
And
he actually took a 4-wheeler ride over to a unit that's bull only, and had a cow at 20
like
yards.
20 yards. No.
Cow and calf.
10 yards.
I don't know, it was super close. So unfortunately, like Russell, like He's had so many elk so close and just not able to capitalize just because, one circumstance or the other. It just wasn't that one. It wasn't an illegal unit. He couldn't shoot it.
He couldn't shoot it. And now we're sitting here, like I said, literally around a campfire, recording our elk trip recap, hoping to God we don't have some crazy crap happen on the way home, so we don't have to address that later.
We also didn't say my 4-wheeler. Pretty sure
your 4-wheeler's done.
My side-by-side, it shot craps.
Yep. Got some dirt in the intake.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure we're pretty dry here. Like, it's rained, but not for probably a couple weeks.
It's dry shit.
It's pretty dry. I have some pretty aggressive tires on it, and it's throwing some dust.
You want to relive the part when your dad was like, "Did you check the oil before you left?" Yeah. Did you just straight? That was just the worst lie I've ever seen you tell somebody.
I checked the 4-wheeler. I didn't pull the dipstick.
So by that you mean you looked at the side-by-side.
I checked it over.
Tires are good.
And actually, your side-by-side also got a flat tire day one.
Oh, day one, yeah. Day one, I had a flat tire. Thank God Nate had a
patch kit.
Kind of a patch kit and an air compressor, like a mini air compressor.
That thing was freaking cool.
It is pretty nice.
It worked out great, man.
I'm going to get me one for sure. It's like a little slime air compressor / tire patch kit.
Yeah.
So Micah and my dad and myself put a patch in there and
plugged her up,
aired her up, and she's running strong. The tire is.
Not the
motor. 2 days later, all of a sudden, like, hey, I smell something coming up the mountain behind you. You might want to check that out. So I, look. I don't see anything. I didn't think to check the oil. A mechanically inclined person. And, I don't know, day 3 or 4.
On the way down, you said something about power, so we pulled the air filter.
That's exactly right. Day 3 or 4, coming back to camp, I'm like, man, normally I can run that hill in like 4th gear, 20 some odd miles an hour. I had to I was down a gear and like 10 miles an hour slower. Like, I'm losing power. All the dust, my tires are kicking up a lot of dust on the trail, on the road, everything else. So we cleaned the air filter. I pulled the air, which I checked the air filter. I legitimately checked the air filter before we left.
I do not believe you.
I promise you I did that. Because I have two spare ones at home. I was like, maybe I should swap the air filter out. I don't use my side-by-side very much when I'm at home. Check, I don't know, you guys use it every once in a while. Check some deer stands or whatever. This is the most it ever gets used out here. I didn't check the oil, but I did check the air filter, just because I know it gets pretty dirty. I looked at it. It's
clean enough.
It was acceptable. Went on. I pulled it. Whatever the day we talked about losing power, it was just caked. So I pulled it out, and there was dirt on the inside of that air filter. And Dad's like, "Hey, that's not good. You need to that." I was like, "Oh, I didn't put it in the inside. I don't know what to do." So I tried to wipe it out best I could. It was already done with it being on the inside. Yeah. The next day, Dad was behind me, and he's like, "You're burning some oil." So I checked the oil in it, and
pretty much gone.
It was low, quart low. So Nate had some oil I stole from him, but we just left it parked today, and I'm going to send it to the shop when we get back and get it reworked, and she'll be ready to go.
Yep.
But
yeah, I mean, we were going to do an elk trip recap anyways. Yep. But I mean, this is if you look at it, this is the perfect loser mentality. But if you look at it just from what did we kill, we failed, right? But this type of trip,
we've killed 5 things.
This type of trip is not just hunting. It's seeing stuff. What are you doing?
We've killed 5 things.
What did we kill?
A husky. A fifth of, what was it?
Redneck Riviera.
A fifth of Redneck Riviera. A case of Busch Light. Rittenhouse whiskey.
Hey, Rittenhouse whiskey.
And I smoked the shit out of that tree.
Wait a minute. Rittenhouse whiskey. Is that dude?
I think it's that guy.
He has a freaking whiskey?
I'm assuming.
I don't think so.
It's not
I'm making
okay.
an assumption.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Pretty sure
But, all right.
those are anything.
Husky, whiskey, beer, whiskey, and I shot the shit out of that tree.
You did shoot the shit out of that tree.
Yep.
And
5 things.
I
we
just killed all my dreams. Whatever. But
So 6.
so 6. But like, I mean, that's just, we had
a
experiences.
lot of time.
Some time. Got to hang out and do stuff like this pretty much every night.
We met some cool people. A couple of camps above us is some retired firefighters from Oklahoma. We got to talk to for a while.
Ohio.
Yeah, sorry, Ohio.
Wrong O
It was
state.
the O state from Ohio. Ohio. We got to talk to for a little bit. They're pretty cool dudes.
Yeah.
And then the people right next to us
Another
are
camp from
actually
Missouri.
camp from Missouri.
Yeah.
My first year to this spot, they were camped in the upper campsite, and they're some killers. Like they killed a bear, a couple elk, and I don't know, every so many years we meet them back here, and they're just good people.
They live down in the southwest part of the state. They actually tonight brought us over some fish they fried up and some hush puppies and potatoes.
They've been catching a few fish over at the reservoir.
Caught some brook trout. Brought us over some food, which was cool.
Yeah, good people.
Yeah, and they're here for muzzleloader.
They're going to muzzleloader elk. Yep.
So they don't start till this next Saturday, but
2 days. But they come out a little early, get acclimated to the elevation, and have a good time.
Yeah. So that's our elk trip, man. I mean, like, if you just look at it, like we suck, bro. Like
you don't look at them killing elk,
but it's really hard in the first place. The percentages are
10%.
very, and I don't even know if that's
That might be fudged.
That's the whole
Good.
whole state of Colorado, I think, isn't it?
no, that's this.
There's a unit.
But once again, we were talking about like how do they even know those numbers because the state of Colorado doesn't verify anything.
We only know, so we've seen a lot of people, and I think we only know of 3 elk
We know
killed.
of 3 elk killed out of all these hunters.
Out of multiple camps we've talked to, ran into, visited with. It's hard. I don't want to act like I'm a sob story, like it's hard, but like this is one of the hardest things, like one of the most challenging things I've ever done in my life.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
And it's it's rewarding in its own right. I mean, you push yourself differently than you might would at home.
Those bulls today, yes, no, we didn't get a shot, we didn't get them killed. That's one of like the most rewarding things to be able to see one in the wild. I think there is.
Yeah, and it's still like you came back straight up pissed, man.
I was upset.
You were not happy. I got
Just because
the
it's
out of your
happened.
way, and I made the mistake of telling you about something going on in your truck.
Yeah, now my truck
When
has
you're
an
mad.
issue. Like the dash is going down.
Well, we got in it to leave today,
It's just
and I'm like, Raj, look at his dash or his display. He's like, that's weird. And I said, it looks like somebody took a cigarette, bro. Like it's.
yeah. I got a couple pixels or something going
Yeah,
on.
and I'm like,
display
oh,
of my
okay.
truck.
So we took it down there, and then it got worse
Another
as
one
the
went
day
out,
went.
yeah.
And they're getting bigger. So I'm like, oh, Andy's gonna be real excited about this.
So my 4-wheeler, my truck, and then I decided I was going to try to take a shower in our toy hauler we took out here, and I've never done that. I never used the shower
The
before.
drain plugged up.
And all of a sudden the drain's plugged up. So I was pissed in there trying to fix it.
No problem solved.
Come to find out, the gray water tank was just a little full.
Hey, at least that was an easy one.
Yeah.
That's an easy fix.
So at least we solved that problem. But
Yeah, I mean, hey folks, this is
real life.
This is how you see a lot of shows where there's a lot of success. You hear about a lot of success on podcasts, but a lot of times, like, this is how it is. It's
real
it's
world
fun.
struggles.
It's great. It's still hunting, but you leave empty-handed a lot of times. I mean, just me personally, I've been doing this 6 years now. I've not killed an elk yet, and I've been close multiple times. It's just how it is, and
It's all about right place, right time.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. You just got to have them all fall in your place.
And, okay, so fair enough. We could go hike in the backcountry, get way back in there, away from people, chase bugles, but we have a
That's not the experience.
We have more of a family atmosphere here, to where we come, we spend time with our family, we sit around camp, we have a base camp.
Yeah.
So we get to tell our stories every night to each other.
People might already know this, but your dad and Russell's dad come
My
every
dad's
year.
65 years old.
Both of them are basically 65.
Yeah.
Your dad still hunts.
Yep.
Doesn't get to go as much as he used to back in the day.
He paces himself.
He paces himself a little more now. Albert comes to just hang out with us, and he's our camp cook as well.
We would be so, I don't know how to even explain it. Like,
so we're
without Albert, it would be it would
definitely be harder. It's a different experience that we're doing right now because it's a family thing. I mean, everybody here is family one way or the other.
Yeah.
And that's why we're doing it this way right now. This is the way we want to do it. And we just keep getting our asses handed to us.
We have opportunities, but it's just one of those
Yeah.
things, like, it just doesn't work out.
No, that's for sure. But
And we're only here for 7 days. If you talk to a lot of people, they come out here for, those guys from Ohio
They're
are
here for
here
a
for
month.
the entire month.
Yeah.
So, honestly, we just had our best day today.
And we're leaving tomorrow.
If we had another 14 days, I'm pretty confident.
Pretty sure we could have made it happen.
Figure it out. Yeah.
Pretty confident.
Yeah. And by the way, remember, we're coming out before they're rutting.
Yeah, they're not even
Sometimes you might get a bugle here and there.
Yeah.
But they're very pressured elk, and they're not rutting yet. I mean, you really want to stack those odds against you, we do it.
Oh, yeah.
It's not an excuse, but I don't really care. I mean, that's hunting, man.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. We had a lot of fun. We're
When we come back, we have 5 days until whitetail opens.
Yep.
I'm going to smack the shit out of a doe. First one I see is getting it.
Yeah, definitely. And that's it, folks. I mean, we're sitting, like I said, right around a campfire, telling our story.
Eating tag soup.
I don't know what I'm going to name this show.
Tag soup.
Elk Trip Recap, Tag Soup. Ooh, I like that one.
There you go.
That might be it.
I would like to say good luck to Garen and Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah, they leave.
They're leaving as
They're
our,
leaving.
on our way
basically
back.
when we get back, right?
Yeah.
Probably tomorrow, more than likely. They always leave earlier than they say. But
Is it just two of them going out there?
No.
they have a bigger group, but
There's
those
a
are the only
handful.
two I really know.
No.
From the
Gotcha.
group, yeah.
I've met a couple of the other ones, but
So normally they go to Utah, and they went to Idaho last year
because they couldn't get into
because they
Utah.
couldn't get into Utah. And now they decided they're going to go back to – so Brian used to go to Colorado before.
Right.
He decided he's going to go back to Colorado. They drew a unit that used to be over-the-counter, but now it's draw only. So they're going to hit it up and see what they can do.
Yeah. And they'll be
Good luck to
there.
them.
I think they're hunting 14 days.
Yep.
And good luck to everybody else who might be elk hunting. And I know we've got some people we know in the industry that have been out elk hunting. I got service today, so I saw on Facebook Bryce Pinnell. He killed a muley, or somebody in his group did.
Nice.
I had service long enough to,
They go to Nebraska.
dude. Like that's what sucks when you're out of touch with reality for 8 days.
It's
How many
wonderful.
freaking emails and
I
like
bet
texts
you
and
I
stuff.
have 300 some odd, 400 some odd emails.
So somebody in his group killed a muley. If it's him or the other dude in the picture, I don't know because I didn't stay on Facebook very long. So congrats to those guys. But there's a lot of folks out west right now, and then whitetail season kicks off. So good luck to everybody. Then,
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Micah, you got any closing words?
Nope, I'm fucked up. I'm going to bed.
All right, Patrick. Thanks for being here.
I'm always here for you, brother.
Andrew,
We'll
what are you
talk to
doing
later.
now? Using that inReach?
This Garmin InReach.
Yeah. All right, brothers.
All right.
See ya.
Peace.
Later.